Alright guys, what's the crack? In this video I am going to be talking about recovery, and specifically recovery for GAA or sport. So whether you play hurling or football, in this video I want to talk you through what's worthwhile spending time on and what kind of things maybe you thought were good for recovery, but you know, they're probably not the best thing to be spending your time on. So first of all, the three big ones: sleep, nutrition, and managing stress. Within GAA, recovery is probably the biggest thing that people struggle with because it's an amateur sport. So you're working 9 to 5, you're doing your training in the evenings, you might have family life, and you're also trying to work in sleep somewhere on top of that. If you were a professional athlete, you could sleep in all day, you'd get a nap in the middle of the day, and it wouldn't be as much of an issue because you're not working that 9 to 5. Typically what I'll do if I get busy at work and if I'm also training really hard is sleep is the first thing that goes. But that dramatically increases your risk of injury. So aiming for a minimum of 8 hours sleep every night is so important. If you can get 10 or 12, even better. So most of the research on sleep has been done on Stanford University, and they look at college athletes. So they take people and they look at people who sleep 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours a night. And then they take the same student who maybe sleeps 6 hours and they'll get them to sleep 10 hours and then see what happens. And typically what they find, and what most studies find with sleep, if you're sleeping 6 or less hours, your risk of injury goes really high. If you start sleeping 8 hours a night, the risk of injury comes down. But there mightn't be a massive difference between 8 and 10 hours, but there's definitely a big difference between, say, 4 to 6 hours and 8 hours. The other aspect they look at is actually performance. And again, going from 6 to 8 hours is an improvement in performance, and going from 8 to 10 hours, again, there's another improvement on performance. And when I say performance, I mean like sprinting times and kicking accuracy. And usually within sport, when someone wants to train harder, they actually sacrifice their sleep. They get up early in the morning to do an extra gym session. But in a lot of cases, that can be detrimental. So quite simply, if you sleep 10 hours a night instead of 6 hours a night, you're going to be a better athlete. You're going to recover more, you're going to be faster, you're going to be able to put more into training, you're going to be more accurate with your skills, and you'll be at less risk of injury. Now, there probably aren't too many guys who can hold down a 9 to 5 job, train 6 days a week, have a normal family life and social life, and also sleep 10 hours a night. So that's where you've got to, figure it out for yourself. How committed are you towards this, and then decide how many hours of sleep you're going to get. But what I would focus on is during championship, trying to get an extra couple hours that week. So it might be just 1 extra hour all night, or it might be the day before the game, getting 2 or 3 extra hours. Particularly if the game's on a weekend, have a good lie-in that morning, get plenty of extra sleep, get a good lie-in the day before if you can. So if a game's on a Sunday, good lie-in Saturday, good lie-in Sunday. Aim for about 10 hours in bed. Look into sleep hygiene if you're trying to improve the quality of your sleep. I'll leave a sleep hygiene document around this video somewhere. You'll find it in the Facebook group. Okay, so second thing is nutrition. Now obviously when we're training, we're expending energy. During your day, we're expending energy, and if you don't have any energy to replace that or to fuel that, then you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. It's going to affect your ability to repeat the performance that you've put in from training session to training session, to match, to training to match. And that's why in the nutrition videos we talk about being in a calorie surplus or at maintenance calories during championship, because you need that energy to fuel your training, to fuel your performance, and if you don't have it, you're not going to get the best out of yourself. So enough calories is key, and that's also why we talked about increasing those calories and increasing your maintenance level as well. So consuming 3,500 calories per day and maintaining your body weight at that level is way better than consuming 2,000 calories per day and maintaining your body weight. When you're taking in more calories, you're taking in more energy, you've got more potential to recover. Second thing to consider within nutrition is, are you eating anything that's disagreeing with you? So do you have any intolerances or allergies to food? And if you do, make sure that they're cut out of your diet. If you're eating something and it upsets your digestive system, then that's going to affect your absorption of vitamins and minerals and nutrients from your food, and as a result that's going to affect how well you recover. We've also talked about the importance of fruits and vegetables and getting in vitamins and minerals in your diet to keep away colds and flus or cold and flu-like symptoms, because those cold and flu-like symptoms are a sign of overtraining. And if you're not eating enough unprocessed whole foods, most likely you're not getting the right amount of vitamins and minerals, and that can affect your general health, which is obviously related to recovery. Third thing is stress. You could give yourself 10 hours in bed every single night and you could have an absolutely immaculate diet, but if you're super stressed day to day, it is going to be massively affecting your performance and your ability to recover. If you look at any athlete across the board, whether it be bodybuilding or soccer or someone going to the Olympics, when they're not training, they are de-stressing. They're chilling out, they're literally moving as little as possible. They're probably doing some form of yoga in their spare time, or they're doing some mindfulness or meditation. And the whole idea behind relaxing and de-stressing is when you're training, you're in fight and flight mode. So your adrenaline is going, your heart is pumping, and you're expending a lot of energy. When you're not training, you want to, as much as you can, get into rest and digest mode. So you want to go into the opposite mode, and that allows your body to recover. So when you're in rest and digest, your body is in recovery mode, and inflammatory markers come down, your cells are repairing, you're absorbing nutrients from the food you're eating, and your body is preparing to make itself better for the next day. If your stress levels are high, your inflammatory markers will be higher, you'll have more free radicals in your system, and simply you won't be in that rest and digest mode, so you won't be absorbing nutrients as well. Your cells won't be repairing as well, and ultimately you're not improving as much as you could be. Stress management is something, again, that the amateur player has got to juggle, because we have a day job. We can't just sit at home all the time and chill out in front of the telly. This is also a part of the reason why it's a young man's game, and why, you know, college students have a little bit of an advantage over people who've got 9-to-5s. They've got time off during the day, they can relax, they can sleep in, they can take a nap in the middle of the day before training. But what I would consider doing is just assessing your day and see how stressful is your day, how stressful is your job, how stressful is it at home, and if you can identify stressors in your life, then that's easier to overcome them. Some really useful tools, things that I use and that are very effective in stress management, are things like mindfulness or meditation. Now, mindfulness, you might think, well, that's not really for me. If you think about yoga, yoga is a form of mindfulness, yoga is a form of meditation. So yoga might be something you'd be interested in, or if you are interested in mindfulness, cognitive-based stress reduction is, again, a very useful tool for an athlete to have, because as an amateur athlete that has to work, you're going to have those stresses. Now I'm going to touch on some of the things that you might be doing that probably aren't really worth your while. First of all, foam rolling. If you're spending any more than 5 minutes on foam rolling, it's probably too much. Really, there's no real evidence to support it in terms of recovery. Some people do it because they're told to do it, other people do it because they believe it's going to help them recover between games. If you're spending 15 minutes doing foam rolling, and that's 15 minutes away from resistance training or rehab work, or that's 15 minutes you didn't spend getting your nutrition prepped for the day, forget about it. Focus on getting your weights done, getting your rehab done, getting a bit of core work done, getting your nutrition prepped for the day. Because again, we have to be really smart with our time if we want to maximize results. Cryotherapy, probably the most overhyped and overused recovery tool out there. Even using ice on an injury isn't that effective. Ice has kind of been brought about because back in the day, physios needed to kind of be seen to be doing something when an athlete got injured. So it actually started off with running cold water over an injury, and then that evolved into using ice on an injury. So now the physio looks like they're doing something and they're being proactive by putting ice on an injured area. Whereas in reality, it doesn't really do that much. It makes your skin a little bit colder, but that's about it. So if you are injured, or if you are using ice baths or cryotherapy to recover from heavy training sessions, it's okay as long as it's not taking away from anything else. If, for example, you decide you're going to spend an hour icing an injury rather than doing your rehab exercises, that's a very bad choice. Again, focus on your rehab, focus on your resistance training, focus on doing a bit of core work, focus on getting your sleep right, your nutrition right, managing your stress levels. Doing 20 minutes of meditation to try and help you sleep better that night is probably better than icing an injury for 20 minutes. Or even better, just do both. Recovery drinks or shakes. I don't know if I need to bring this one up because I don't know if people believe in it anymore, because they shouldn't. So with regard to your nutrition, what's most important is your total daily intake. So getting consistent with your calorie, your protein, your fat, and your carb targets, and just hitting those every single day. That's what's important. You do not need to worry about getting in a shake within 20 minutes or an hour of the gym. That is not going to help with your recovery. Think about this. It takes about 4 hours for the food that goes into your mouth to be absorbed into your system. So if you have a big dinner before you go to the gym, most likely when you finish at the gym, the food that you ate for dinner is only now being absorbed into your body. And that protein shake that you drank straight after the gym, that's not going to be absorbed for a couple hours. So the whole idea then of that post-workout protein recovery shake goes out the window. So again, focus on that total daily intake and be consistent. Consistency is so important. Alright, that's it for this video. Make sure you remember, plenty of sleep, eat well, and chill the beans. And they're your best 3 tactics for recovering. With nutrition, make sure you watch all the other nutrition videos that I've made for the GYM and GAA series. And with de-stressing, try and identify the stressors in your life at home or at work. And you need to be aware of when you are stressed and have some tools to manage that. So that's where mindfulness and meditation come in. Yoga is also a form of mindfulness and meditation, and that can be a useful de-stressor. Hope this video helps, guys. If you've got any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, make sure you like the video, and I will see you in the next one. Slán!